fucking notifications. All right, let's get started.
The Joe Rogan experience.
What is it like to be you? Like, what is it like to, and then I know, you know, you've gone through a lot of shit. And this latest.
Oh, they're joking about him. Didn't Nietzsche say some shit like, just because I hold the key to your lock does not mean I hold the key to mine? Bro, JP isn't even a fucking lobster, and he talks about lobsters as if he understands their lived experience. I respected him up until the point at which I found he is, in fact, not a lobster. What is happening in the Joe Rogan subreddit? Okay, I don't care. I just want to watch this
thing with getting off of the benzodiazepine. That to me was a real shocker because first of all, I had no idea that you were taking it. And then to find out that it's that difficult to get off of, and then to hear from other people that have tried to get off of it, how difficult it is. And then to realize how many people around me have an issue with that stuff. Xanax is a motherfucker. And I didn't know what a motherfucker it was until I talked to a friend who is a counselor at a drug rehab center, where he was saying that that is one of the ways that people get locked back into drinking and doing drugs, is a psychiatrist will prescribe Xanax. And sober people who get on Xanax all of a sudden start drinking. He said it's super common. He said that it's one of the most difficult drugs to get off of. He said, and this is something that Dr. Carl Hart, who's I love him to death. He's brilliant. He speaks so openly and honestly.
You should talk about Dr. Karl Marx instead.
About drugs, and you know, the guy's a professor at Columbia. He said that there's two drugs that will kill you when you get off of them. He goes, it's alcohol and benzodiazepine. Those are the two that if...
Which is precisely why the cold turkey medical treatment is quite literally illegal in the United States of America, which is why Jordan Peterson's daughter, Michaela Peterson, took Jordan Peterson to Russia to invade Ukraine, of course. Just kidding, not to invade Ukraine, but instead to, you know, get the fucking cold turkey method done there.
If you just quit, you'll fucking die. And
or you wish you would.
New Blair White video about H3H3 react to the Blair White video? Ew. No. Does Blair White even have fucking fans? Like, what a fucking weirdo, dude. What the fuck? No. Don't come in here with the fucking random bullshit, dude. What, every time some fucking rando, like, conservative weirdo fucking makes a video about one of my friends, I gotta, like, watch it? Yeah, no, I banned him already. I banned him permanently.
Meanwhile, they're handing those things out like Tic Tacs.
Yeah. Well, they were regarded as a safe substitute for barbiturates. And you could easily overdose on barbiturates, especially with alcohol.
Well, when did they know? When was it in the literature, the difficulty of detoxing yourself from these?
Very recently.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. And when did they start being handed out?
20 years ago.
Fuck.
More.
Wait. Is this motherfucker actually wearing this?
Wow,
what the fuck? Yo, what is happening? What is happening? Is he wearing, like... Is that a bow tie? Why does he have a bow tie on? Yo, is he okay? He just came from a wedding? He did?
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. And when did they start being handed out?
20 years ago.
Fuck.
More.
So what happened? People just stayed on them?
Often.
I have one good friend that takes it every day and takes it oftentimes with alcohol, which I know you're absolutely not supposed to do. There's not a damn thing I can do about it. This is a friend that I love to death, and I put my hands up and I go, there's nothing I can do. And he's been on it for more than 10 years.
Yeah, well, I started taking them because I was ill.
Yeah.
You know?
And well, homie seems to be surviving, you know? Homie is, whether you like to admit it or not, homie has figured out the perfect combination. Motherfucker's out here like the alchemist, dude. He knows what the doses are, apparently. Sorry.
No, and they helped because I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep at all. I don't know. I don't know. I still really don't know what happened
You
to
couldn't
me.
sleep, and so an anti-anxiety medication. Do you think that this is one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about. This is why I brought up the fame thing. How much of the pressure of being attacked by all these different people and having these people write these horrible articles.
A socialist get rich hassle.
Oh, look, Joe Rogan is going to exercise sympathy towards his friend getting attacked on the internet while personally engaging in pile-ons for like people that don't even have fucking any sort of clout or any sort of support system, like trans people.
10 months. As high.
It's important to make sure that, you know, Jordan Peterson's feelings are always centered in this conversation. But of course, when you ever try to consider what Jordan Peterson has done for trans people all around North America by completely bastardizing and lying,
Jordan Peterson sound like hipster
completely bastardizing and lying about C16, then it's like that's not significant at all because fuck those people. Anyway.
About you, and I know you read that stuff, which is different from me. I don't read stuff about me, and I think that's helped me tremendously. And that, like, my gauge of how I deal with people is, like I said,
Tucker Carlson doesn't read things about him either.
You can tell by the way he communicates. He seems free. You know, there's a burden that people carry around when they read things about themselves. Like Eric Weinstein has that burden sometimes. You know, when people read.
Yeah, well, part of the reason.
Let's be real. I'm the only psycho who I'm the realest one to do it. Okay. I'm the only psycho that reads just exclusively criticisms about himself to a degree where like it changes almost my own sense of self-worth and my attitude. What is happening? What the fuck is going on? Every time I refresh my fucking dashboard, it runs another 3-minute ad break. What the fuck is going on?
Epic
Twitch!
moment.
What? What is happening? I'm gonna lose my fucking mind! Look at this. Look, I just fucking refreshed. Stop!
Oh baby, oh baby.
No, I clicked on the dashboard and it literally said the ad failed to run because the channel recently ran a commercial and is on a cooldown. See, it's literally trying to serve ads every time I click on the dashboard and
This box won't go away.
You can tell in that they've never learned
$7.
anything. Okay, this refresh bug is gonna make me Twitch's ad numbers look insanely good for them. What the fuck? No, seriously, this is fucking ridiculous. This is fucking ridiculous. This is fucking ridiculous. How the fuck do I change this? Every time I refresh the dashboard, it's fucking serving 3 minutes, dude. I gotta delete this. I gotta delete the button from my fucking Hold on. I'm just going to delete the button from my fucking thing. I'm going to delete all the ad serving buttons from my dashboard. Okay. Now, let's try it again. Okay. I deleted all my buttons from the ad serving dashboard. Let's try it again. Let's fucking refresh. Let's see. Okay. All right. It's not trying to run another ad, right? Okay.
You.
Oh my God, that was annoying as fuck. Holy shit, dude. Holy fucking shit. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. There's nothing more triggering and nothing more fucking annoying than like having no control over what happens on my stream. I absolutely hate it. I'm genuinely fucking sorry that it's like doing this shit. I think it's gonna be fine now. When I refresh, it's not gonna fucking serve an ad because the button is off the dashboard. Thank you, NA Mantegia, for the 50 community gifted subs.
These two have their heads so far up their asses it's wild.
Because I pause my video on my dashboard, right? On my dashboard page, I pause my video. But in order to look at certain things, like I need to refresh the page every now and then.
Yes.
And every single time I fucking refresh the page, it runs like weirdly. It was like running a 3-minute ad break. I don't know why. You had your bookmark linked to your ad buttons, doofus. Why would my bookmark be linked to my ad button? And if my bookmark linked to my ad button,
Why Twitch?
why would it be that when I click on when I type it in as a fucking dashboard, why would it automatically serve an ad even if I typed in the dashboard?
Almost subbed for 2 years, thanks a bunch. Hasan smile.
And now it's not happening. Now there's no ads. So, all right, let's continue.
Reason. So did I read things about me? Well, yeah, but that wasn't what was stressful exactly. Although it was.
It's
what
a
was
multitude
stressful
of things.
when I first got, I've had a history of depression, and that runs in my family, and that's probably stems back for me right to the time when I was a kid. And I think when I really got sick in 2016, it was partly a manifestation of that. But at the time, my job was threatened, like actually.
Right. Yeah.
And my clinical practice was threatened. And the Canadian Revenue Agency was after me all at the same time. And they were after me because of a mistake they had made, which they admitted 3 months later. And the college was after me because of a vindictive client who came after me with a pack of lies, but because they were so... And basically, I emerged from that unscathed, but that was by no means obvious that that was going to be the case. I was accused of sexual misconduct. And the evidence? When I was dealing with this client, I would turn my wedding ring around.
You'd spin it?
Well, I play with it.
Right. And that was sexual misconduct?
Yeah, well, to her, it was a signal of some dark underlying desire.
What is happening, dude? Canadians are just like living on a different planet, right? I mean, that's it? There's no shot this is real, right? I can't comprehend how this would ever be like the real reason
Dude.
for why they're talking about this. Like, this doesn't make sense.
Desire that that was polluting our therapeutic relationship.
I've been doing that with you the whole conversation.
Yeah.
I have this silicone wedding ring.
Yeah, well, I'm going to report. I'd report you if you had
in there.
Yeah, exactly.
I do that all the time.
Yes, well, there you go.
Bad?
It's really bad. And if there was a college that governed the behavior of reprobates like you, I would definitely report. No, don't do that. That's terrible.
I stretch it out.
No, that's it's Freudian to the extreme. Although I don't know what turning it means.
How could stretching a silicone wedding band be Freudian?
Well, you're putting your finger in the little hole.
Rubber.
You're making,
Fuck kind of vaginas you're dealing with.
Rubber is, that's got... Anyways, we don't have to go there.
So that was all you had done was play with your wedding ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I really helped her a lot. Like,
well, so unfortunately, when you're dealing with people that are extremely troubled, oftentimes they look for external reasons why they're troubled, and they find oppressors.
Well, she was also angry with me because when all this blew up around me, it interfered with my clinical practice, and she had come to rely on our weekly meetings.
Oh,
and so she was angry about being abandoned, and it was really sad because I didn't want to abandon my clients, but I had to stop my clinical practice, which was also very upsetting to me because I had like 20 clients and I knew these people, man. Like I knew these people.
Yeah.
I'd followed them through thick and thin. And then all of a sudden, so many things piled up around me that I found when I was in a clinical session that I was distracted. So you can't be distracted in a clinical session.
Right.
And so, anyways, what emerged from that, and it was in the middle of the winter and I have seasonal affective disorder, I couldn't sleep. And at all for quite a long time. And I went to my doctor and I said, I can't sleep. And he gave me a sleeping medication and an...
Wait, Seasonal affective disorder is real? I thought that was like a fucking meme. Like, I thought it was a meme when you get, like, sad when it's fucking...
I subbed and still have 9 ads to
I
watch.
thought... Dude,
Send it
I'm
off.
sorry, I didn't know. But I actually thought it was sad when you get, like... Ne? Niye baba yapma? No, it's legit. It doesn't have to be in winter, though. Professionals can't agree on whether it's real or not, lol, but many people do experience it for a while, and it's been widely accepted as real. Only recently have professionals started doing it. I mean, it's not an LA bias, dude. I get fucking so depressed. I get depressed, too. Bitch, I get depressed. Fuck you mean? So, you know, it's real to me, damn
Remember
it.
to hold your frame, Hasan.
I just don't know. I always thought it was just like, yeah, you get fucking depressed. You know, I love California. Thank you for the 5 gifted subs. I don't know. It just, first of all, the acronym is SAD. So I just thought it was fake. I thought it was a made up.
Anti-anxiety drug, and I took a little bit of the anti-anxiety drug, and I could sleep. And my life was pretty stressful, and I thought, okay, I'm much better. I'm just going to leave this be. This is working. I'm not going to muck with it because I could barely go back to work.
And what was it? A low dose?
Yeah.
No,
I couldn't even feel it.
Xanax? Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a low dose.
So it alleviated the anxiety, but it didn't affect your cognitive performance, or it didn't affect the way.
Well, it didn't affect it as much as how sick I was. Like that really affected it.
So sick meaning
Oh,
depressed.
No,
you mean
no.
When
no,
you say
no,
you're
it was-
sick.
No. When it hit, if I stood up, my blood pressure was really low. If I stood up, I'd faint. I was fainting 5 or 6 times a day.
When are we talking about here?
2006.
Okay, dog. That's not, I'm sorry. I might be crazy here, but like any doctor you go to that hears your fucking diet is probably going to say, hey, going out on a limb here, but perhaps the main problem here is not necessarily your seasonal affective disorder or anything like that, but instead, you know, the fact that you're exclusively eating meat, like
Thanks for
just
the reminder
nothing
to sub,
else.
Jeff.
Was he on that diet in 2016? Yes, he was. Isn't it when he started?
We pay JSP sell out we gay pride ads what way? Mod check we pay JSP sell out we gay pride ads what way?
Man was
Mod check.
slamming meat, you had low BP.
16.
Okay, so this was when all the pressure from all these different sources was coming at you,
Yeah.
and that was making you sick. So it's changed
No,
physically.
yeah, that was part of it. I think what it did was it stressed me enough so that I was more susceptible to whatever was wrong with me in the first place.
So there was
'Cause I've had a
something-
lot of immunological problems.
How long did it take you to recover from the benzos?
Well, when I finally 2 years. And I haven't fully recovered, but
You
I
haven't
was
fully recovered?
also sick. No, my left hand is quite numb, and was way more numb. Both hands and my feet were like completely numb, and I was in like excruciating pain for 2 years. Like
Bro, this homie is
pain
not
at
all
levels
right.
that I
like,
didn't even
in
know
any
was
way.
possible.
All the time, or
No,
on occasion?
No, this is one of the things that was terrible about it is that it was really, really bad in the morning.
And did it start right after you got off of the Xanax?
No, but it got way worse.
So it just started showing up eventually.
Yeah.
And then
It started to get worse about the same time that Tammy went into the hospital, but because she was fighting her way through, catastrophic cancer at the same time when this started to happen.
So this was additional stress.
Yes.
And that heightened everything.
Well, it certainly didn't help.
Right.
I think it made me more susceptible to something that was already happening. So whatever this illness has that's plagued my family, my father, my grandfather, multiple cousins, and a lot of immunological problems on my mother's side too. I have a cousin whose daughter died of immunological problems, the same ones that Michaela had.
And this is all mitigated somehow or another by this only eating meat diet?
I don't know. It's certain.
Dude, Chatter is correct.
Pogno ads.
Chatter is fucking correct. JBP is the world's second most punished reactionary, right behind Bolsonaro. God hates these men straight up. At a certain point, you got to realize, like, perhaps God does not want me to live a quiet life on this earth, a life of solitude. God damn, bro. What the fuck? How does he know this if he also says that he refuses to go see a doctor? He's just getting whipped around, bro. And Crowder, and Steven Crowder, that's true.
Is for Michaela.
And for you as well?
I don't know that for sure. I know what the diet has done.
What is this, bro? Wait. Jordan Peterson on the Jokar? Are you fucking serious? Jordan Peterson's realization about the Bible? Yo, these are some of the... Hey, remember what my lock was yesterday, by the way? Remember? Wait, so Ethan Klein is too unhealthy to talk about health advice, but Jordan, every disorder under the sun, Peterson is healthy enough to listen to? Of course. And that's why you should follow his diet. The all-meat diet. Which, of course, almost killed him. Even though... if you do that diet, you'll die if you drink apple cider. So I hate this because I have some of the same issues. I don't want to sympathize with him. I mean, he never recommends it. Yeah, my lock yesterday was that this was going to be boring as fuck, and I was fucking right, bitch. 4-hour podcast. This is the clips, dude. These are the fucking clips. The 4-hour podcast. I was so excited for this. Look at that. It's just him crying. Woo! I was right. I was fucking right, dude.
Joe Rogan experience.
If categories dissolve, especially fundamental ones, the culture is dissolving because the culture is a structure of category. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. Right. So, in fact, culture is a structure of category that we all share. So we see things the same way. Well, that's why we can talk. I mean, not exactly the same way, because then we'd have nothing to talk about. But roughly speaking, we have a bedrock of agreement. That's the Bible, by the way.
Why do you care about clips? The entire podcast was gold. Open the Spotify web player. First of all, no. And secondly, definitely no. I'm not going to watch a 4.5-hour podcast, brother. Give me the highlights. Also, this sucks. I don't even care about his realization about the Bible. Let's see if there's anything good here. Oh, Joe Rogan.
Uh-huh.
Well, on Joe Rogan, Jordan B. Peterson offers an insightful defense of the blue-haired crowd. They're creatives, okay?
They're the same people that were doing tattooing and piercing, and they often are literally the same people because they have piercings. It's like, well, they have mutable identities. They're not stable in their identities. They're creative. Creative people, by definition, aren't stable in their identities. That's what makes them creative. Now, the downside of that is creativity is a high-risk, high-return strategy. Your new idea is probably stupid and wrong, and maybe it's fatal. But now and then, it's unbelievably successful. And also, now and then, our culture would die without it. So we always have this problem because we have to maintain stability, because otherwise everything degenerates into chaos. But mere stability won't work because the future is different from the past. Like technically different in a non-deterministic way. It's actually different. And so then we have to figure out, well, how do we modify our memories or our traditions at a rate that enables us to keep up with the culture? And the answer to this is, in part, we let creative people play multiple games on the fringe, and some of them are radically...
Dude, I covered this already. I covered this. Bernie Sanders N. I covered this. You asked for me to cover this yesterday, and I literally covered it yesterday. I covered this yesterday when you asked me to cover it yesterday. I covered this yesterday when you asked me to cover this yesterday. Are you a bot? Are you an account that just spams the exact same thing over and over again? It's the same fucking story, dude. Stop spamming. You want me to cover it again? Oh, dude, Superbam clapped this already. What the fuck? This video contains content from Superbam that has been blocked on copyright grounds.
Successful, and then we copy them.
So you think that a lot of what's going on with people that want to change their gender identity is creativity?
No, I don't think so.
So what do you?
I know so.
You know so.
Yeah, that's not all of it, but that's definitely part of it.
But there are.
What? Okay. At first, what he was saying is like people on the fringes, like the creative fringes, kind of motivate culture and shift culture. There is some truth to that. Okay. Obviously. I mean, but then turning that back to trans people somehow and like trans people's existence actually is about their creativity is pretty funny. I mean, I don't know how the fuck he came up with like, there's some, there's some creative trans people out there, but definitely not all trans people are fucking creative. What kind of fucking take is this? Half the trans people in my chat, all they know is fucking eat hot chip and play that weird strategy game, okay?
$16 billion house. Couldn't be me, haha.
Even in a weird way, it's like, what's it fucking called? No, not Wordle. The fucking strategy game, yeah, Hearts of Iron 4, okay? That is what I'm talking about. Trans people love playing Hearts of Iron 4. Oh, Jesus Christ. Or fucking Fallout New Vegas. The fucking Excel spreadsheet game, dude. So strange. Shitting on trans people. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. You know me. I'm so transphobic. I'm literally playing Crusader Kings 3 right now. See, that's what I mean. Okay, let's continue. All trans people know is be bisexual, eat hot chip, and play grand strategy games, okay? That's all they know. As they listen to the Hasanabi broadcast. Doesn't mean that, there are very creative trans people, but that doesn't mean that, like, trans people are creative inherently, and that, like, their gender is a part of their creative project. Or is a manifestation of their creativity. All right, let's continue.
Because they're going after comedy for a little.
Joe Rogan and Jordan Peterson discussed the woke targeting comedians who mock their protected classes. One thing you can mock relentlessly is
people
white
are going after comedy for a different thing today. Because they're going after comedy for a literal representation of what the words mean if you put them in print. And that's nonsense.
Yeah,
that's not what a comedian is doing.
Well, they're doing that. They're doing that because there are some things they believe that can't be made fun of.
Yeah, but really what they're doing is just looking for targets. They're playing a game. The rules of the game have been established. Comedy violates the rules of the game.
Yeah, what are the rules?
Because comedy take those things. Well, there's a lot of things you can't joke about.
Mm-hmm.
You can't joke
about
sacred
things.
Yeah, there's protected classes now.
Mm-hmm.
We all know what they are. We don't even have to bring them up. Whether it's trans people, gay people, people of color, Asian people, whatever those things are. One thing you can mock relentlessly is white people, specifically white.
Oh my God, this is such boomer sadness. Bro, if you're literally a comedian, if you're a comic crying about the only thing you can laugh about is white people is so stupid. It's so fucking sad and so pathetic, dude. You are quite literally the most pathetic comedian. That's why he's a stool humper, dude. Holy shit. Are you fucking joking? First of all, like, even if that was true, as a comic, shouldn't you quite literally say, yo, we can't have motherfuckers be salty about like making jokes at the expense of white people? Because what do you want? You want all kinds of comedy to be eliminated? You know what I mean? Jesus Christ, what's wrong with you? But instead, he's like, if you were conservative, he would have you on for the C
White
word
males.
incident.
It's one of the.
Well, they are pretty funny, you know.
Oh, sure, we're ridiculous, but it's a funny pejorative that people will say about like a group of folks. They're primarily white males.
Oh my God, he's literally talking about. Oh my God, he's talking about Crackergate. Oh my God, he's literally talking about Crackergate. Shut the fuck up.
But
Joe
it's a
Rogan.
funny pejorative that people will say about like a group of folks. They're primarily white males. Like that's a pejorative. Like that's like
It's my audience. That's what everyone says.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking to those young, angry young white males.
But isn't that funny that means something negative?
You just made a tasteful trans joke. They're just mad they can't call them slurs and question their humanity. Yeah, I mean, even there, JBP literally said trans people's like identity and their transness, their existence is an art project. Like it's just a way to fucking again further devalue, delegitimize trans existence.
That's
it's not funny.
But
it's horrible.
but it's a horrible generalization.
Okay, I want to hear more of this, dude. I gotta hear this. I gotta hear this. I gotta hear this. Holy fuck! I need to see more of that. Hasan, why are you so red? Saturation.
When someone is so attracted to the idea that they were born in the wrong body, it means so much. They're so compelled that they're willing to go through surgery to change.
God, it means all sorts of things. I knew a kid in Toronto who was on the autistic spectrum, and a lot of the people who are manifesting serious issues with gender identity are on the autistic spectrum.
Oh my God. Yo! Does Jordan Peterson exclusively hang out on Twitch or something? What the fuck is he saying, dude? Jesus Christ. Bro, isn't he literally like a fucking... What the fuck? He said... Bro, if he wasn't who he was, this would be pretty funny, okay? Like, if he wasn't such a gigantic fucking transphobe... like, this is... I feel like I'm watching, like I feel like I'm watching a trans comedian, okay? Or like a trans Twitch streamer joke about trans people, okay? Did I say artistic? I meant autistic. Yeah, no, he first said artistic, and now he's saying autistic.
This is like Abigail Schreier's work and rapid onset gender dysphoria amongst women.
Yeah, well, that's a different thing, the rapid onset. That's more like... So part of the reason I objected to Bill C-SOX 16 to begin with was because I knew full well as a clinician that as soon as we messed with fundamental sex categories and changed the terminology, we would fatally confuse thousands of young girls. I knew that because I knew the literature on psychological contagion. And it stretches back like 500 years, that literature, 300 years. It's all outlined in a book by Henri Ellenberger called History of, what's the name of the book? History of Psychoanalytic Ideas. It doesn't matter. It's Henri Ellenberger, and it's his main work if you want to look it up. And so psychological contagions are very common. And so one of them, for example, was the satanic ritual abuse accusations that emerged in daycares in the 1980s. And that was a consequence of women going into the workforce en masse, leaving their children with strangers and starting to have pathological fantasies about it, especially if they were borderline schizophrenic. And those...
What? Wait, what the fuck?
Ideas, it doesn't matter. It's Henri Ellenberger, and it's his main work if you want to look it up. And so psychological contagions are very common. And so one of them, for example...
I mean, he's right about psychological contagion, okay? And he's right about the satanic panic, a well-documented phenomena. Love that he literally still placed that on women, dude. That's awesome. And not only women, but women in the workplace, dude. What the fuck?
17 months, let's go.
Was the satanic ritual abuse accusations that emerged in daycares in the 1980s. And that was a consequence of women going into the workforce en masse, leaving their children with strangers and starting to have pathological fantasies about it, especially if they were borderline schizophrenic. And those fantasies propagated into the population.
That's awesome.
"8 months of helping me get through some tough times. Thank you for everything, Hasan. Hassle, hassle, hassle."
Do you think JP realizes he's playing into the trans panic? I don't think he cares. I don't think he gives a shit. Like, do you think JP thinks...
What?
Does JP know that he's just saying some crazy shit right now?
Someone is
About the satanic panic? Does it matter? No. On Joe Rogan, Jordan Peterson discusses... Wait, the author did not write about this? He knows that he's out by now. He's obviously just doubling down. I mean, there is no fucking... Listen, there is no sensitive artist. Oh, God, will you ever leave that man alone? Wait, Jordan Peterson? Too bad the regular people, too. They could solve all this in a boxing match. You're so dismissive with people you like. It's not a good look. Oh, God, will you ever leave that man alone? Are you talking about Jordan Peterson? He's on the world's most popular podcast. I don't know if you know this or not, but like...
2 months.
He's on the world's most popular podcast. Like, whether I watch him with 41,000 people in here or not will never change the outcome here. I usually agree with you, but I feel like right now you're interpreting everything he says in the worst way possible, probably because you like Jordan Peterson. And he has a very good way of making it seem as though he has a totally reasonable and not like an incredibly fucking reactionary point of view, especially when it comes to trans issues. Nah, bro, you're going out of your way to twitch what they are saying? What? Are you purposely twisting into something that's not being said, or have you just not watched JRE in a while? Seems like they're talking more about the weird TikTokers changing gender every hour. Oh, shit, I'm sorry. I should be assuming that Jordan Peterson is talking about something that doesn't exist.
Baby joke end.
Or something that is like such a fucking profound edge case and not like every single fucking trans person, which he has shit on until this moment. Jordan Peterson is transphobic. If you don't recognize that Jordan Peterson is transphobic, then you might be transphobic yourself. I've done numerous videos on the subject. I've written extensively on the subject. Jordan Peterson has been always and will continue to be always trans motherfucking phobic. Okay? At this point, like, he's also talking about C16, which is well documented. C16 has led to 0 fucking arrests. C16 is quite literally the reason, or Jordan Peterson's interpretation or bastardization rather of the bill C16, which was simply just an expansion of hate speech laws that already existed in most other places. It was just federalizing it. Okay? That, in and of itself, that led to so much transphobia and so many people being misinformed that the Canadian Bar Association had to come out with an actual fucking letter informing people that Jordan Peterson specifically is wrong. Okay? So for him to turn around, and try to justify it many years later after that, I don't know what to tell you. Also, did you fucking hear what's wrong with being transphobic? I don't know, like the same kind of issues as what's wrong with being fucking racist. And if you ask dumbass questions like that, I'm gonna treat you like a fucking fascist piece of shit that deserves to be permanently banned. I love the double whammy there of like not only Jordan Peterson engaging in obviously fucking transphobic rhetoric by saying, you know, trans people are simply just like acting out this artistic, creative desire that they have, and that they actually have like some kind of mental illness, and then and then comparing it to, again, an incredibly misogynistic attitude of like the satanic panic was exclusively caused by women in the workplace. Okay? Like, how the fuck did he do that? In a sequence of 1 minute and like 47 seconds, he literally said, trans people are crazy. Okay? Their gender stuff is just crazy. It's madness. And I'm worried that like they're going to spread their crazy to other young women, you know, just like the satanic panic, which was caused by women in the workplace.
Why does my 7-month Annie correspond with Peterson content? WTF is this?
Man who's more interested in people than things. That's why I'm a psychologist. You know, I actually have a relatively...
Oh my God, did he go on Joe Rogan to fucking just be transphobic for like 4 hours? What the fuck?
feminine personality structure because I'm pretty high in negative.
Sad H Guru said the same thing. He said most trans are doing it for social reasons. Is he not a wise man? Who the fuck is Sad H Guru?
Just got my booster, brother.
What?
Thanks for everything you do, bro. Hassle, hassle, hassle.
What is that? Like, what is that? Who is that?
Emotion, and I'm pretty high in agreeableness, and that's the typical feminine structure, and that's an interesting discussion to have too. Because
that's not what he said, though. Why you think people not realize you are lying, bro? My favorite part about Jordan Peterson fan base, the Jordan Peterson fan base, is that like they have the exact same defenses. Like their brain has stayed in stasis since 2016, where Jordan Peterson was popping off, and their arguments are still exactly the same. It's like I can hear Jordan Peterson quite literally be like, I don't like trans people. I don't like them. I think they're weird. And I'd be like, yo, that's transphobic. And someone would be like, oh, actually, you're not understanding what he's saying. You don't get it. You don't understand. You need like 7,000 hours of Jordan Peterson's lectures to understand that he's actually still transphobic.
15 months proves LFG.
It's just, you also are transphobic. And you just don't want to fucking admit that. Okay? It just makes you feel bad.
Because, you know, we have this idea in our culture that you can be a woman born in a man's body. And that's not true. But you can definitely be a man with a feminine personality structure. Like 10% of men.
If he wasn't transphobic, would you agree with his other points more? No, because he is an old man who has an incredibly reactionary worldview. I don't agree with like 90% of what he says. The only thing I agree with is like the fucking self-help shit, which is not even his. That's like plagiarized from every other self-help book, okay?
Men are as feminine in their personality as the average woman is.
Wow, he said femboys are allowed, but no one else. I love that.
And vice versa. 10% of women are as masculine in their personality as the average man is. Now, you can move those boundaries around and say, well, it's 5% and 40 or something. It doesn't matter. But the point is, there's plenty of men who are as feminine in their personality as the average woman. That doesn't mean they're in the wrong body. It just means that men and women are more alike than different, even though they are different, and that there's huge range within both genders. And we need to know this.
So
Gender is difficult to understand, and how we feel to best express ourselves is never quite static. TikTokers have every right to change their gender every hour.
Hold on.
Hassle. hassle. He should just
Y'all lose
drink
your
some
fucking
apple cider
shit. The
pepper
moment
ale.
I'm not like talking, the moment there's nothing going on, you're like, whoa, chair time.
I'm a
Okay. He described the personality types, the feminine men, whatever. That has nothing to do with trans people.
seem willing.
Oh, here's the energy cost.
I've been very
Like we
curious
love
about
you,
why
Hasan.
the left-wing types,
Chill out on the
particularly.
carbs, bro. What the fuck are you talking about? Carbs? You know what this is? This is all chicken, dumbass. This is all chicken. Suck my dick. And these
Lobster gonna lobster.
these tortillas right here are fucking the low carb ones that are like all fucking 30 calories or whatever, or 40 calories. God, I fucking why do I have such weirdos, man? I have such like
Smile.
weird, disgusting people in this community sometimes that behave in the most disgusting way. Like, it would never be acceptable.
Hasan, wear my sweatshirt.
Like, you behave like a psychotic, abusive parent. You know what I mean? Like a mom that you would watch in a fucking movie. Be like, are you going to eat that, sweetie? It's like, yeah, I'm going to eat whatever the fuck I want. I look better than you. Suck my cock. You know what I mean? You are pathetic. You probably
20
look like
months of
shit too.
stomach.
And
Cheers.
you still think that like you could have a say on what I fucking eat. It's crazy. I track my calories. I work out. I've been losing fucking weight. I've been developing muscle mass. And motherfuckers still in the chat try to tell me when they're couch potatoes. What the fucking eat?
Particularly, seem willing to sacrifice the poor to their utopian.
I don't think they're thinking that way. I just
Yeah,
don't
but when
think they
push
played
comes
it
to
all
when
out.
push comes to shove, that's what they do, and
Where'd he
it
go?
wouldn't take much thought to figure it out, because let's say you increase the cost of energy, and that's the price you pay to move forward to a hypothetically green economy, but you increase the price of energy. Okay, so what happens is that in any system that's hierarchical, and this is the left-wingers know this because it drives their
JP
whole
is a
philosophy.
quickie.
In any hierarchical system, when you stress the system, the disproportionate amount of that stress falls on the people who are in the lower rungs because they're barely hanging on anyways. So, you know, you get a 1% increase in unemployment. You get a 5% increase in psychiatric hospitalizations. Well, why? It's because there's a bunch of people there who are right on the threshold of psychiatric hospitalization, and then they lose their job. It's like, that's the end of that.
right.
And so even among birds that don't live in strict hierarchy, so non-social birds, not ones that hang about in flocks like crows,
As
the
common.
birds will move into an environment, any environment, and the more able, in some sense, healthier birds get the best nesting spots. They're closest to the food, they're sheltered from rain and wind and all of that. So they're not psychophysiologically stressed. And so then when any kind of avian flu comes through, let's say, to challenge the bird population, the birds die from the bottom up.
I hate probably the most thing the thing that I think is the most annoying about Jordan Peterson's fucking rhetoric
Pog.
is his idiotic examples from nature as though it is a comparison. You know what birds can't do? Build skyscrapers, dumbass. Shut the fuck up. The entire purpose of humanity is to overcome natural hierarchies and nature in general. That's why it's literally considered a fallacy to bring it up in a fucking argument. I hate it. Even though he's right about like this situation where, you know, the
Hey Hasan.
The
I was
lowest
recently
rung of
diagnosed
society
with epilepsy and life has not been the best, but you make the days much better for me.
is
Thank you. Hassel.
the lowest rung in society have the most to lose. They lose the most. He's right about that. What he's not right about is the fucking bird theory. Okay? Like, making these sorts of naturalist comparisons in nature is so stupid. Motherfucker bird law specialist over here.
They always say, that's the old saying, when the aristocracy gets a cold, the working class dies of pneumonia. It's like, okay, so fine, increase energy costs. Well, what happens? A bunch of poor people fall off the map, like a bunch of them. And the more you increase the energy cost, the more that happens. And so if the price...
This is quite literally disgusting. Hey, dumbass. You know who actually suffers from climate change more? Poor people. Hey, idiot. Hey, dumbass. You're saying this because you're getting paid to say this. But by the way, whenever you see anyone who like fancies themselves to be a scientist speak out against climate change, know that their pockets are being lined up. There are millions, hundreds of millions of dollars on the table for anyone and everyone willing to fucking spread mistruths about climate change. What a ridiculous take. What a ridiculous, idiotic,
Velociraptors were birds.
insane take about climate change.
Open doors. People can open
like
doors.
poor people suffer
Therefore,
more
people are birds.
because of climate change provisions increasing like the price of energy. What about poor people suffering more as a consequence of climate change, where their homes are fucked up and the government doesn't help them out? There's a difference between Katrina and Puerto Rico and I don't know, heartland fucking Texas, in the heart of Texas. When climate change impacts those areas, the poor areas get fucked over. The rich areas can survive. That's the real problem about natural disasters.
We have to pay to move towards a sustainable environment is increased energy costs, and it isn't. That's a policy decision. It doesn't have to be that way. The absolutely 100% inevitable consequence of that will be that you sacrifice the poor.
Okay, I need to see more of this. Okay. The cactus, you're right. I need to see it. All the low-lying areas in Houston are flood zones. Quick guess who gets homes built there? Oh, yeah, I know. I know who gets homes built there. It's poor people.